can see your screen.
All right, perfect. Okay, so going back to our deck, let's just revisit what we did last time. And did you guys find out time to just go through the tenant and get a rough feel about what all things we discussed in our last session?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Right. So do you have any questions regarding that, or like we can visit it from the beginning, just the headers, and we can see like what all things we have done?
So there are a few questions. Would you like us to ask now or later?
Definitely, just go ahead with that. Yeah.
Okay, so we, just a quick thing on the location hierarchy.
Right.
So once you created it, how we can go back and edit that?
So when you're talking about location hierarchy, you want to edit the name?
I want to edit the, so initially I forgot to add the location in it, and then I wanted to go back and add the location in it.
Okay, do you have the name of the location hierarchy here?
Yeah, it starts with AA_. You can check that.
Just give me 1 minute. Let me just find out.
Okay.
What's the name?
It starts with AA
Okay.
_ and then USA.
Let me just have a look if you can find it. I don't think I will be able to see it. Do you mind sharing your screen instead?
It's on the tenant.
So he cannot. So can we do like? Can we do it here? Like if you create hierarchy and you change the.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and create location hierarchy. I believe all of you would have known this. So maybe you can have an organization. Say this is a organization, and I'll go ahead and create a location hierarchy. Say I'll name it RW, say USA. Okay. I'll add a subtype to it and name it, say, geographical division. And visibility, I'll keep it as everyone, and I'll not keep any assignments to it, and I'll just keep it like this. Okay. Now, did you add any location to the location hierarchy?
Yeah, and I wanted to add like Boston and New York to it. So initially I just click OK and went to the next step, and then I wanted to go back and wanted to edit it so that I can add that, but I couldn't somehow locate it and change it.
So how did you add that? Did you go to reorganization and assign location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, your screen is a bit different, but I was going the same way. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and use the same reorg. I'll just add locations, say, not London, sorry. Say Boston.
So let's say if you have done it, if you have created a location hierarchy and you close it, you don't have access to it anymore, and you want to go back and find it and edit it. How would you go back and find it and edit it?
Okay, right, got it. So what you can do is, so this is how you can add your locations. I'm not sure if you have added it.
Yeah, sorry. So if I am in location hierarchy, I can easily do that. That's not an issue. But if I have closed this screen, I went to a different screen, and then I realized, oh, I have to go back and add the location, my location hierarchy. And that's what I have issues to trying to locate that location hierarchy and add the locations in it.
So what you can do is, I'll just check if we have a view location hierarchy in it. No, we don't have. So location hierarchy. Let me just check. Or at the best, what you can do is you can just type in the name of the location hierarchy. Say
Yeah,
this is
tried doing that too. I couldn't even
this
find
is
it.
the one which I created. So it appears here. So just open it, and that gives you. So you can see it here, RW USA. You can see the members that I've added.
Right, right. And so you were able to find it right away. I tried to type it in and try to find it. It wouldn't locate it back for me. So
Can you just go ahead and create another location hierarchy and try it out?
I cannot hear you.
Can you just go ahead and create another location hierarchy and test it out again? Like maybe, and is this a common problem across everybody, or is it? I just want to know that.
Yes, I tried it too. Got the same problem. And how do we add the location, more location than it right now? Like it has two locations, New York and Boston. Let's say if I want to add London in it.
So what you go to these three dots. We call it the related actions. Just click on it. And it's the same way how we added these two locations. Just go to the organization. You will see assign locations here. And you will see assign superior here. What is an assign superior? I'll come to that. So you just click on assign locations. And it will give you, so you just have to type in the organization for which you're doing. Okay. Just go and add the location here. That's it. It's a pretty straightforward thing. And you will see London as a member.
All right. And how do we remove location from here?
The same way, you just
Oh,
remove that name. You just go to the organization, assign locations, go to test, name of our organization, and you just remove say London.
okay.
That's it. It's a fairly simple process. Okay. Now, when we are looking at say assign superior, what does it mean? Like, it means if you have a location hierarchy, say USA, and you want to have another location hierarchy, which includes say USA and Canada, and you want to put that into some other location hierarchy which goes on top of USA and Canada. So you can assign that. You can create another supervisory, another location hierarchy and just assign the superior to it. So it would give you a hierarchical structure, right?
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so any other questions regarding location or anything that we did in our last class?
So when we are defining the location hierarchy, the time profile, we have to define that too. Sorry, in the location, we have to define the time profile too, right?
Right. So that totally depends on the client requirements or your organizational requirements, like how you want to do that. So if you go to create location, I believe you all have gone through this this command create location and
Right.
similarly
Right.
create company with cost centers. You have done it yourself, so that's great. So just go to create location and you can just create. Say I'll create a location. Say RW. What can I put? Say London. That's
Right.
my London location, and I can use anything. This again, selection depends on what you want to use it as. You can, this is a multiple selection option, so you can use everything and anything and everything. So I'll just go ahead and select a business site, just for the use case. And here you can see there are a whole lot of information, so you can use anything and everything here. You can, if you feel that you know the latitude and the longitude, everything, just type on it. Say location types and all. So all these things, say it's a building. So these things all depend on how the organization wants to have location in their system. So for example, if in one of my clients, they wanted to be very particular about what all things they need to be there. So you have to put all those things. In some cases, the clients or the customers, they would not, they're not that rigid. So they just want it to be say London. That's it. They don't want anything. So Yeah, so you just have to add one contact information. I think that's mandatory. And business site, I mean, this time profile. So time profile is actually the working hours. For example, here in India, it's 40 hours time profile. I think in USA it's 37.5. I'm not sure.
It's
So
40
it's like,
yeah.
pardon?
It's the same 40, yeah. Depending
It's
on the
40,
company.
right?
Yeah.
Right, it depends on the company. So that totally depends on how your company wants you to work for a week. So this is again something based on that. So you can just put it 40, and locale is a language. Time zone by default gives you the Pacific time and display language and all. So as you know, Workday is used in different languages also. So if you want to display it in Spanish, so select Espanol and all these things.
Right.
So
I think what I found is that the only mandatory field in this one is the contact information, the address part in it. Other than that, everything is good, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Only the time profile is also mandatory. You can see yeah. So rest of the things is perfect.
So out of all of these time profiles, which are there, like that, quite a few of them, how can we tell which is the Workday provided and which is the one that is created by the people within who are testing or training on it?
Right. So that again depends. I mean, see, these things you will see like 35, that is 1.5. These are mainly Workday delivers. You can just click on these related actions.
Okay.
And I believe if you select on 40, and that's again something which you can just see. So usually what people do, in case I'm testing out an attendant, I will just write some prefix or suffix to it or add some data to it, say test or something like that. Yeah, that's more like this. For example, if you see this -01, so it's pretty much evident that this is something which has been created by someone who is testing an attendant.
True, yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so it's just a guesswork for now. All right, thank you.
Right. So that's about location. Similar way. So if I just go to my whiteboard, so basically location comes under location hierarchy. Similarly, cost center comes under cost center hierarchy. Region comes region hierarchy. Company comes under company hierarchy. So it's I believe it's clear to you like how things work in Workday. So it's all a hierarchical structure. And what is our main organization type that we are going to work on in this throughout this entire program? Do you guys remember?
It's a superheroes industry.
No, what's the organization type?
Organization type.
Right. So for example, this is the organization that so you remember the organization types. So there are different types of organizations. Let me go to that.
Oh yeah, the HR organization or the cross-functional, these types, right?
Right. So these type of organizations. So which one is the most important?
Supervisory. I think supervisory.
Exactly. So we are going to dedicate this entire program to the supervisory organization type. And we know how to create a company. We know how to create a cost center. We know how to create a region. We know how to create a project. Do we know how to create a project?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. So just go and I'll just remove this. So you can just create, you can see the project hierarchy here. You just go and create a project. It's again the same thing like we do in case of creating a location. So you just need a project hierarchy, and basically it's the same thing. So the different kinds of see, I am selecting this as a hierarchy, and then we go ahead and create some projects. So again, project is something which is used in a different module of Workday. So we have a separate module for using projects. which comes along with time tracking. So we'll not get into those details in this program, but I mean, you get the idea. Like in case of location hierarchy, we create a location and put it inside a location hierarchy. Similarly, for projects, we create a project and put it under a project hierarchy, right?
So Satyaki, so create project and create project hierarchy is the same function?
No. Create project hierarchy is different. Create project hierarchy will make you create a project hierarchy.
So first we will create a project, and then within that project, we will create the hierarchy.
No, we have to create a hierarchy first.
Okay.
So here you can see in case of this, I'm using as a create project hierarchy task.
Yeah.
So here you can see you can just create a project hierarchy. Say I'll just create a project hierarchy. A project hierarchy test, and I'll not include anything else here. I just submit it. So this goes through some level of approvals and all. I don't see its approval is needed here, so that's good. We have this created, so we can just go to view project hierarchy. Sometimes you don't have those commands, so that
Right.
becomes a little difficult searching. But you can see this is the project hierarchy we have created. Okay, now what we will do is we will create a project, and here you can see project hierarchy is a mandatory field. So you can't start with the project and then create a project hierarchy, right? You have to create a project hierarchy first, and then so top-down approach.
So project is a subset of project hierarchy. So we're saying we create the project hierarchy, then we are adding tasks or projects to that particular. Okay.
Correct. So maybe say you have some projects, your company does some projects on, say, how do I put it? So say there are some projects based out of APAC, Asia Pacific, and say there are some projects based out of EMEA, say Europe region, and you want to create two different hierarchies, and you just have to keep a track on all the projects based out of Asia and based out of Europe. So you can group that based out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this function used by companies?
Right. Yeah. It's used in case a company does billing based on projects. So mostly if you have a service-based company and you are using a billing-based approach,
okay,
they use.
Okay, makes sense.
So I'm not sure how familiar you are with timesheets, billing, and all. So say when you're saying 40 hours a week, so say a person works 40 hours and he or she gets paid this much, say instead of 40.
So you're saying like, let's say for example, a company like Infosys or some, where you're working for another client, they might use this kind of functions. Okay.
Right. So this is a very versatile unit actually. This is actually a very large module. So this allows you to work on multiple projects also, and it gives you analytical depictions of how much you have worked, or like what is your utilization and all those things. So we will not get into the details, but this is heavily used by service-based companies usually.
Okay.
Okay, so what I get the idea is we are clear with what a reorganization event is. That's an event which we are using while creating an organization. We are clear on the different types of organizations. We have tried creating a company, a cost center, a region, a project maybe. Also, we have created a location hierarchy and assigned locations to it. So is there anybody who did not create a company or a cost center or a region?
Yes, I didn't do it. This is for me. Yeah, I didn't do it actually.
Okay. So are you clear, or do you want me to just go ahead and create a company for you, and maybe you can...
I mean, I don't know if everybody else is okay. I mean, I guess I will have to try it on my own, and I don't want to keep everyone.
No, that's all right, because I was actually planning to go step by step on this company and cost center in this class. So it seems like most of the people here have already done it. So that's fantastic, actually.
Okay.
So I believe we have time. If you want me to go ahead and point out certain stuffs, or maybe if you feel, because this is, I believe it's a pretty straightforward stuff, and I believe most of the people would agree to that. So you can try it out on your own, and in case you find any roadblocks, you can always reach out to me.
Okay.
Would
Yes,
that do?
we'll do. Thank you, Satyaki.
Satyaki,
All right.
quick question here.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned that when we are doing the project hierarchy and projects, you have to create the project hierarchy first and then the project. So what would happen in case of the region hierarchy and the fund hierarchy and this gift and grant hierarchies? In all of these cases, you have to create the hierarchies first and then go to create the region, fund, gift, or grants. Is that the way it is?
Not exactly. Not exactly. Because as you have seen in case of company, right? So project, as I say, project is a specific module on its own. So project would definitely come under project hierarchy. So you can't be having a project without a project hierarchy. Okay, but that's for projects. But in case of a location, you can have a location without a location hierarchy. For example, when you're creating a location.
Right, location is good, but for the like region.
Same thing. So if I go ahead and create a region, right? So what it will do is I will just go ahead and create a region. So you can see there's no region hierarchy to it. So it's pretty much the same thing for region. Okay, so you can have a region without a region hierarchy, right? So say you are working in, say, USA as a region. Okay, your company is not distinguishing USA into different regions, as we know. Okay, so it's considering USA as a particular region. So you don't need any region hierarchy to that. So you can create a region on its own, and that would suffice.
So the easiest way to find out if we need to do the hierarchy first is we just look and see if there is a mandatory field.
Correct.
And if not, then we don't have to do it.
Right.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. What is this external URL, Satyaki? Okay.
So it's like in case you want to have a URL based out of your region. So for example, I am based out of India. Okay. Yeah. So now if I have an office, say in Mumbai, and I want to have my Mumbai region's URL to this location, so to this region, so I can add to it. Or say you want to have a URL to my company's website here. Okay. Only for that region. So you can have these things.
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions?
Yes, Adi, I have it. So as you said last lecture that if there is no field available, so you can create by your own to robust the visualization, So how we can do that? Is it available in the Workday, or we can write some calculation or case statement or something like that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat once again? Like,
yeah, my question is that, for example, a client want to add some field and the field is not available. So you said last time that we can create a calculated field or field something additional field for our work. So for that, should we use some calculations or case statement, something like that? So how we can create a new field as requested by client, which is not available in Workday. So how we can do that?
In Workday. Right. Yeah. We have commands like create calculated field. So we can go ahead and create fields of our own, but we will be covering this towards the end. So I guess you have to wait a little for that.
Okay, thank you.
Am I audible? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So as I said, you just have to wait a little bit for this because this is something which is a little advanced, and we will have to wait a little towards the end. We will cover this.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. But
just
yeah, definitely, if you don't have anything which is already provided by Workday, we have the flexibility to create it of all.
and it is not like a coding field. It's just kind of click with click.
Sorry,
Yes, it's not like sometime you have to create a code for it or some kind of go in database. It's just a simple click. Correct, Satya?
exactly. No coding is required. No coding, no Java, no C#, nothing.
Not go into the database also, like kind of thing. Request database management.
Right. No SQL also. Yeah. But definitely, I mean, you would have to, as I said, as I talked about business object concept. So you have to have a little clarity on like which all business objects are connected to each other. So that you can derive, like, for example, if I need the address of a person, so I should know that the person's address should belong to the worker business object, right? So that idea needs to be there. Even if it's not there, you can always play around the tenant and find out like which business object gives you that data. So it's a very simple thing. Okay, moving ahead. So any further question, or we can go ahead with our today's lecture? Okay, I think we're good. Just interrupt me if you have any questions. We can go ahead. So when I'm talking about supervisory organizations, we had covered the supervisory organization last class. So were you able to create a supervisory organization? Is there anybody who created a supervisory organization?
Yeah.
So may I know which supervisory organization you created?
Yeah, so the one that we created, this one, Superheroes Inc., Superheroes Executive, Superheroes HR, and Superheroes Sales and Marketing.
So, okay, so I'll go back to...
There are 4 supervisory orgs in there.
So the Superheroes Inc., Superheroes Executive, and Superheroes HR, and Superheroes Sales and Marketing. So you created all these 4 supervisory organizations?
Right.
Okay, fantastic. So is it possible to share your screen?
I think we need to go back into that.
Yeah, I think it's not kind of, let's go ahead and they will do it, because it's kind of, you know, the way the portal access is takes time and all that stuff.
Okay. So if you can tell me the name of the supervisory organization, I can just check it.
Yeah,
if I
you
can.
can try with the same initials, AA, and then underscore Superheroes Inc. And you'll be able to see that. Underscore, so AA underscore.
No, I don't see anything. I think I'm not able to, I would not be able to see the things that you have done here. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the reason. However, okay. So is there anybody who created supervisory organization apart from you? May I know your name? I'm sorry, I can't see.
It's Syed.
Okay, Syed. Anybody apart from Syed who created?
Sorry, a quick question on that one. So one of the things that I found by creating a supervisory organization, if I want to display the code, so code is the one that came up because I think I checked out that it should be visible in the name of the supervisory org. Then it started asking me the code number. Otherwise, if I wouldn't check it, it wouldn't ask me for the code number at all. And that's one thing that I found different in it. And the type for the supervisory organization is always supervisory. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You're talking about the subtype?
Yes, subtype.
No, this can be anything. This can be a company, this can be a department. But the only thing is you should not confuse this company to the organization type company.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, this might get a little confusing, but yeah, that's it. Thing.
So this code here, if I check with the code, then definitely it asks me to put the code number in there. So the code, should that be company generated or should that be one that we should be putting in?
No,
how
so
we decide on that?
Right. So if you don't put anything, I think it is created by organization. Let me just even I'm not sure on that. Just give me one moment.
If you do include code in the name, check that box, then it will force you to put the code number in. There's a It happened to me.
I'll just check once. Okay.
The up, yeah, there is some include code in the name. Oh,
Yeah. You can see it all already created. So that actually depends on the tenant settings. So there is a thing called edit tenant setup. Okay. So if you go to edit tenant setup and just click on it. So there are lots of tenant setups which are there. I think there is something called system should be good. Just give me 1 minute. Six times. Just give me a moment. So basically that depends on your tenant setups. Like sometimes, I mean, you can add it. Like you want to auto generate the code, or you want to force the employee to do that. So let me just check if this is the one or not. There are a whole lot of things which you can see here.
right.
You can get into that actually. Just give me 1 minute. Not sure if this is the one or not. Actually, there are a lot. I'll just check it out and let you know next class.
No,
So
not an issue.
it has something to do with the tenant setup. So maybe the tenant where you are practicing, it's not activated for it to auto generate. So you have to put it yourself. In my tenant, it is already there. So it got auto generated. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So coming to the supervisory organization. So let's go ahead and create the Superheroes Inc. I believe we had created this. So if I go to, we don't have one. So I'll just go ahead and create one, and you can follow along if you want. Create supervisory organization. Name pops up, and I will use this reorganization event. Okay, and the availability date, as I said, I'll keep it very early. So say 1900, and I'll name it. Sorry about that. Okay. So I think this has to be 8th of 12th, because you see the reorganization event was created on 12th of August 2022. So this date has to be on or after that date. Okay, so and this will be 8, and this is the other way around, I think. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, and yeah, that's right. So I'll just name it Superheroes Inc. I'll leave this part for now, and I will include the manager or leader's name. I'll add supervisory to the subtype. Visibility, I'll keep it as everyone. Now, what would be the location here? We had discussed this in last
That's
class?
the New York, yes, because that's location of the main supervisory organization.
Correct. So we will keep it as New York. Okay. And for the staffing model, we will keep it as position management for the time being. I'll come to this later. And we will not do anything here in the assigned roles. We will come directly to organization assignments. So organization assignments, you see company, if you read this client requirement, it would be the organization has is an organization based out of New York and offices in Boston and London. So these two are the locations, and Boston and New York belong to the USA hierarchy. So what is this USA hierarchy? This is a what is this USA hierarchy? Can anybody say?
Location hierarchy.
It's a region.
It's a company.
No, it's a location hierarchy, because these are the locations, right? New York, Boston, and London.
Mhm.
So New York and Boston belong to the USA hierarchy, while London belong to the UK hierarchy. So this is how the client requirement has been based, but you can definitely keep it in the region part also if your client wants it to be region. That's the flexibility that Workday provides you with. Okay. Now, the organization is supposed to have position management staffing model for management levels, manager and above, and the rest would be having job management, right? So when you see for management levels, management and above, so who all are the management levels, or who all here belong to the management levels, manager and above?
Batman, Spider-Man,
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman, Hulk.
Right.
Yeah,
So
those
these
four.
4 people, yeah, the first 4, these 4 people belong to the management level, manager and above. So while we hire these 4 employees, they would be in the position management job staffing model. Position management staffing model. And when we're talking about Superman and Iron Man, these two would be coming into job management staffing model. What are these? I'll again keep it a suspense. I'll come to that. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll come to that. Okay. Now, so when you see, I don't think I've kept anything in the company. I kept anything in the company? Not as of now. So here, if you see, we did create a reorganization, and you see we have 2 companies, Superheroes USA and Superheroes UK. So we have 2 legal entities, one for the employees in USA and one for the employees in UK. So these are the 2 companies that we are supposed to create. Okay. And then we are supposed to create cost centers, Superheroes Executive, Superheroes HR, and Superheroes Sales and Marketing. So basically, who all would be in the Superheroes Sales and Marketing cost center? If I go to this one, who all would be in the Superheroes Sales and Marketing cost center?
The
Wonder
Superman and
Woman?
Iron Man.
Wonder Woman
and Iron Man and Superman.
Okay. Okay. So basically, when we're talking about the cost center, so cost center, we can do it like this, that Wonder Woman, Superman, and Iron Man, they belong to the sales and marketing. We can also put Superman and Iron Man in the sales and marketing cost center and keep Wonder Woman in the executive cost center, along with Spider-Man and Batman. That again is the flexibility that's provided by Workday. So you can do accordingly based on what the client has asked you to do. So depending on that, what you will be doing. So let's forget about Wonder Woman. How can all the rest be? Let's focus on Batman, and let's focus on the topmost level of supervisory organization. We know the location is New York. So we have already put location as New York. So when we're talking about the company is Superheroes USA. Okay. So what we will do here, we'll add Superheroes USA. So we don't have that here right now, actually. What I would request you all to do is just create Superheroes USA company and just add it in the allowed organization. Okay.
Okay.
And cost center, what would be the cost center, Batman?
Executive.
Perfect. So just put executive here. Region, it's not mentioned here. If you want to put any region, you can put it here. So these all things would come up as allowed organizations. Okay. Now, while we hire the employee, say we have already put USA here, Superheroes USA, the company allowed. But now we are trying to add Superheroes UK company to this person, Batman, while hiring that employee in this supervisory organization. The system will throw an error that, okay, this supervisory organization, although it's available in the system, but it's not allowed for this supervisory organization. Okay, makes sense? Okay, taking silence as yes. I'll move ahead. So what I'll do is I will keep these things as blank right now. So when I keep it as blank, it means anything is allowed. Okay. Now I'll just click on OK. So I believe Syed, you are the person who created the supervisory organization,
Right.
So did you create it this way?
I'm sorry, go again.
Did you create the supervisory organization this way?
Yes, I created this way, and I created the company separately, but I did not connect it to in here, which I'm going to do later.
Yes. So I would request you and also everybody, when you go ahead and create the supervisory organization, just go ahead and create the companies, the cost centers. So basically, before creating your supervisory organization, your primary task would be to create the company, the cost center, all those things which you would be needing in the supervisory organization. So when you go to this activity, you can see I have asked you to create the company's cost centers, locations, is everything beforehand, and then I've asked you to create the supervisory organization. It's not that once you have created a supervisory organization, you cannot edit it. You can always, so this is the supervisory organization that I've created. I can always go ahead, hit on the related actions and edit supervisory organization and just add a company here to say something like that. I can always edit it later, but to be on the safe side, it's always advisable just go and create organizations, related organizations first, and then create the supervisory organization. That would shorten your time actually. Okay, so I will just cancel it for the time being. And what we have here is our supervisory organization. So this is the supervisory organization that we have. You can always view your supervisory organization with this command. Just type in view supervisory organization. And yeah, that's it. Now, what is the next supervisory organization that we are going to have? Let me just try to bring on the whiteboard. I'm not sure why it's not coming. Okay, so we have already created the Superheroes Inc. supervisory organization, right? This is already done. Now, what comes after that? Anybody?
Superhero executive.
Superhero executive, that comes below it. Superhero executive should come somewhere like this. Right? So what we will do is, there are two ways. We can directly go to Superheroes Inc., click on the related actions, go to reorganization and create subordinate. So this will create this will directly link my supervisory organization Superheroes Executive to Superheroes Inc. We don't have to do anything. This is one way. I'll just create it, have and click on it, and like this. Or what we can do is we can create a supervisory organization by like how we are doing it. Just name it test. Keep it as supervisory, visibility everyone. What will be the location for this one?
That is New York, right?
New York. Okay. So keep it as New York. Keep it as position management. Click on OK. And once I've done with this, I can go to this one and go to reorganization and assign superior. So it's just the other way around. You can either create a subordinate from the top down approach, or you can create a subordinate, create a subordinate independently and then assign a superior to it. What I'll do is I'll assign the Superheroes Inc. RW Superheroes Inc. And that's it. So now if I just go ahead, I'll just cancel this for the time being. If you see, the subordinate is Superheroes Executive. Make sense? So there is a Superheroes, below it comes Superheroes Executive. So we are done with these two, right? Syed, if I can come back to you, I'm sorry to put you.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So did you connect these two supervisory organizations?
No, I haven't connected it yet. This is the step I'm going to do next.
Right. So you just created these two supervisory organizations, right?
Right.
Okay. So now you can easily connect these two.
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. So we are done with the Superheroes Inc. and Superheroes Executive. Next what?
HR.
Next one is H, Superhero H.
Here's the chart.
Superhero HR.
Yeah.
So where are we going to create this Superheroes HR?
Under Superhero Executive.
Fantastic. So we will go to Superheroes Executive, and then can anybody direct me?
Reorg, or whatever. Yes, reorg.
Reorganization.
Yeah, create subordinate.
Correct. Okay. So we will go ahead and create W Superheroes HR. Let's just make this organization subtype as, say, make it as a department. Okay. For the time being. Now, an interesting thing, if you see the primary location here, we don't have a mandatory mark here.
Right.
Can anybody tell like why it's not mandatory? When we were creating it independently, it was giving an asterisk mark and it was mandatory. Now it's not coming as mandatory. Can anybody see why?
I think because it's under the supervisory location, it takes a location from the main supervisory organization, which is New York anyway by default.
Exactly. Fantastic. So that's the thing. We don't have to add anything here. So you can see the organizational assignments, the management, the staffing model, none of these options are appearing, right? So it will all inherit from its superior supervisory organization. Okay. However, we can mention it in the primary location. So if you're talking about the Superheroes HR supervisory organization, what would be the location?
Again, that will be
Boston.
Boston.
Will it be Boston? Okay, just check out this box and let me know.
New York?
Exactly, it would be New York. So the location is always the location of the manager.
Manager, yeah, okay.
Okay, so the location would be New York. So when I say location Boston, this is the location of Hulk as a person, but
Right.
not the location of the supervisory organization. So the location of the supervisory organization would be the location of the manager. Okay. Makes
What
sense?
happens if you put Boston? Like, would the system give us the error? Like, what will be the, you know, repercussion if you put Boston and not New
Nothing
York?
happens. Nothing happens. It's actually it's the convention. The location is it's just the convention. That's it. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Like you can
Okay.
always go.
Okay.
Put. Nobody stops you from putting any location. You can
And
actually
I'm just trying to understand like what happens, you know, maybe, you know, if it's
Exactly.
if it's not gonna accept it or
nothing happens. So you can use anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So once we are done with this, what we will have is you can just click on the details. You can see the superior organization is RW Superheroes Inc. and the subordinate is the HR department. You see a department comes in because this is a subtype that we had selected, right? So some of the subtypes they come in as in writing, right? So this is something how things come up in Workday.
So Satyaki, does it need to be a department or it can be a supervisory too?
It can be anything. I just selected department just to show that department comes in writing next to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Next, what is the next supervisory organization?
Sales and
Okay,
marketing.
superhero sales and marketing. Yeah.
And where are we going to create it?
under the
Under
HR.
superhero executive.
Yes, under superhero executive. It's not under HR, right?
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So it would be again under superhero executive. So we have two branches here, right?
Got it.
Right. One is HR and one is the sales and marketing. What am I writing? So these are the four supervisory organizations. So I will not create sales and marketing. I'll leave it to you guys. You can go ahead and create it. I would request you to just create all these four supervisory organizations this week and try it out. Okay. So yeah, that's it with the supervisory organization. Now we come to another important topic, which I have been postponing for some time now. And that is staffing models. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. So you saw while selecting the staffing models, it's a mandatory thing that we have to select while creating a supervisory organization. So there are two different types of staffing models. One is the position management and the other one is job management. Now, what is the difference? If you see the photo, this is for the position management and this is for job management. So position management, as the name suggests, here all the positions are predefined. Like for example, there are 10 positions in a supervisory organization. So you would have position management staffing model. However, in case of a supervisory organization where the positions are not predefined and you can have many people doing similar kind of role, then you would be having job management staffing model. Now, how do we define it? So again, go back to this one, my whiteboard. Okay. So say, for example, I have a supervisory organization, say a manager, executive supervisory organization, and I know there would be a vice president HR, a vice president sales and marketing, and a vice president operations. Okay, I know there would be three positions and there won't be anything else. And all these three positions would be having different job profiles, different designations, different roles and responsibilities. I know. So for them, we would be selecting position management because we put hiring restrictions. So say this is my HR position. Okay, this is my operations position, and this is my finance position. Okay, so I know the restrictions in this HR position would be, say, the person has to have a job profile of, say, HR manager or an HR director or something like that. A person has to be from, say, from the United States. I will only have employees from United States to be in my HR function. And if a person is from UK, he or she cannot be in HR. Okay, I have different restrictions, different job restrictions for this particular position. Okay, but for, say, operations, I can have people from London. I don't have any problem with location. So only for this particular HR position, I have certain restrictions. So how do I put on those restrictions? That's called position management. Now, all these things fall under the same supervisory organization, right? If everything falls under the same supervisory organization and we want to have different job responsibilities for different positions, we would go ahead with position management. However, going to the bottom, say, for example, I'm talking about, say, programmers. Okay, so say I have at my very lower level, say I have some, say, programmers, or say management trainees, or say interns. So there is not much difference between this person, this person, and this person. Okay, there are three positions I know, but there is no difference in these three. So what I can do is I can set up a restriction at a supervisory organization level, which would be followed by these three. Okay, so that is called job management, and this is called position management. So as the name suggests, for position management, we need to have a position. Say a position is there, HR manager position or an operations director position, and we would be setting our restrictions based on those positions. However, for job management, we don't need any positions. We can have, say, 50 programmers or 50 analysts, and all of them would be having the same kind of restrictions. Okay, or there would be no restrictions at all. Anybody, you can hire anybody, any person who is there, a living person, you can hire that person, no restrictions at all. So in those cases, you would be needing job management. So job management basically works at a supervisory organization level. So you set up the hiring restrictions at supervisory organization level. But for position management, you set up the hiring restrictions at the position level. So within the same supervisory organization, there can be multiple positions, and for each positions, there can be different position management restrictions. Any question on that? Okay, I was expecting a lot of questions, but it seems it is clear. So I'll just get into the details a little bit. So if you see hiring restrictions established only for the concerned position in case of position management, say for this chair, the person has to be from HR. Say for this chair, the person only has to be from sales and marketing. Okay, so in only these kind of position related restrictions, you use position management. Definite hiring rules for specific positions. When job roles and skills vary massively across the same organization, as say one from HR, one for marketing, like that. Coming to job management, hiring restrictions established for the entire supervisory organization when hiring mass employees are not limited to predefined count. Okay, as I said, like if you want to hire 50 employees at one go, so then you will be using job management. So now coming to our client requirement. Okay, so as the client requirement says, the organization is supposed to have position management staffing model for management levels, manager and above. So you only say it for Hulk, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, and Batman, they would be having position management staffing model. And for Superman and Iron Man, it would be job management. Now, if I go ahead and create my supervisory organization again, so say this is the Inc., this is the executive, and these are my HR and sales and marketing. Now this would be what kind of staffing model? Position management, right? This one?
Again, position.
Position management. Correct. HR?
Position.
Position management. Sales and marketing?
Again,
Position.
No, why would sales and management be position
Job
management?
management.
Right. So
job management.
what I mean to say is, in case of sales and marketing supervisory organization, we would be having these two employees, Superman and Iron Man. So one is marketing analyst, the other one is a sales analyst, but they belong to management level less than manager. Okay, so they are not managers, they are analysts. So we would be having job level, job management staffing model for this. But what would be the restrictions? Whatever be the restriction, it could be set at the supervisory organization level. Okay, so say in this HR supervisory organization, who is the worker here in this HR supervisory organization?
The
Hulk, right? Now, Hulk is occupying a position. Say we have already created this organization and Hulk is occupying a position in HR supervisory organization. He is the HR manager. Now say down the line 2 years, the organization grows in size and creates another say HR senior manager profile in this supervisory organization itself. So say Hulk is an HR manager and it creates another position, say HR super manager or senior manager, sorry, senior manager HR, and say there is another person, say XYZ. Now, if you want to hire somebody in HR senior manager position, you have to create a separate restriction for this position, because this entire supervisory organization is having position management staffing model. So whenever you're staffing somebody, you have to create a position here, and then you have to set the hiring restrictions, and then you have to hire. So this is how, this is the chronology. So you create a position, you set the restrictions of that position, and then you hire a person to that position. But in this case, in this sales and marketing, because it's job management, we already have Superman and Iron Man. Now, if we want to hire, say, some other person, ABC or PRQ, any number of person we can easily hire. We don't have to create positions. We don't have to set hiring restrictions for those positions, because this is a job management staffing model, right? It's the restrictions are set up at an organization level. Okay, so no position needs to be created. You can just go ahead and create, go ahead and hire employees all at the same time, or one by one, or even say after 5 years you want 10 more employees. So you can just go ahead and enter, edit, hire people here. But in this supervisory organization, any person you want to hire, you have to create a position. You have to set hiring restriction for that position and then hire that person. Is the difference, are you able to understand the difference, or is it confusing?
So on the HR side, if you have to hire someone, you will first create a position, then you will link it to the HR, and then set up the restrictions.
Right. So when you create a position, you always create a position within a supervisory organization. So,
right.
Yeah. So say I am creating a position. Okay. I think
You can say
have access to a position. Yeah, it's low. So I will. So the first thing that the system asks is the supervisory organization. for which
Right.
supervisory organization you want to create the position. So say
So we'll say HR here.
the organization, RW is HR here. So let me go to HR.
Right.
Okay. So I'll go to HR and create a position.
Okay.
Say RW HR manager. Okay. So this is my availability date, like from which date I'm having this position. Say I'll go for 13th. What is the earliest hire date? What is the earliest that you can hire?
Okay.
Say I can have an availability date at 13th and my earliest hire date can be say 16th. That again depends. It can be 13th also. Same thing. And if you don't have any job restriction to it, so what you will do is you will just create, you just click on it, no job restrictions. So you can hire any and everybody in this, okay, in this position. When I'm saying no job restriction, that means only for this position, not for the supervisory organization, okay? But if the supervisory organization has a job management staffing model, then whenever you are setting a hiring restriction, it's for the entire supervisory organization. It's not for any position, right? Because you don't have any position in a job management staffing model. It's a very simple thing, right? And then you have certain stuff. So you just create a position and yeah, I think, let me go to HR department. If you go to staffing, yeah, you can see positions. I have created a position.
Okay.
It's unfilled because I've not hired anybody as of now, but it has created a position. So every time you will have to create a position and set up the hiring restrictions that I did. I have set it up as no hiring, no restrictions. That's a different thing. But you create a position and then you hire somebody to it. But let me go to my other supervisor organization. Okay, we have not created that. What I'll do is, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, so going back to your whiteboard. So we are doing position management on the sales side because we might have to hire a lot of people and they might be all at the same level. And so we do job management. I'm sorry, I mean job management. Yeah. So, and on the HR side, we are doing position management only because if we get a position under HR that is more specific, we'll have to create a position specific for that job.
Correct. So that's something which I'm giving you an example. It's not something which is fixed. There can be a company.
So under HR, let's say, for example, you know, like a senior HR person has a lot of senior HR generalists under them. It's just an example, like salespeople, they might have HR generalists. So in that case, we will also have to do a job management under HR.
We can, again, everything, there is nothing called we have to, we can.
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to understand why we are doing job management and why we are doing position management. Okay.
Exactly. So anywhere where we have a lot of hirings taking place and we don't have to create separate restrictions.
Okay.
So in those cases, we will go ahead with job management. So say you have a management trainee program and you have 10 management trainees. All of them would be having similar requirements. Okay. So you would not like to create 10 positions and then set up hiring restrictions for all the positions and then hire people, right? You just go ahead and hire all the 10 people.
Yes.
So in those kind of cases. So usually job management happens at a lower level, like I did here. And position is usually on the higher level. This is a common convention.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, quick question here. Can you change the staffing model of a supervisory organization once anyone is hired into one of the positions here?
Right. Great question. You cannot. You can change the hiring supervisory organization staffing model as long as you have not created, you have not hired anybody. But as soon as you hire somebody, you cannot.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So for example, if I have this one, say Superheroes Inc., I don't have any person here. So I can go ahead and go to my staffing. Sorry, not staffing. I think organization. Yeah. Go to organization and you see edit staffing model. This option is there.
Right.
Okay. Now, if I go to my HR department, and go to organization, where did it go? Yeah, you see there is no option because I've already created a position for hiring.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So that's the thing. Like as soon as you do something related, so create position is something related to position management. So once you've created a position, obviously that is something related to position management. You cannot go back. You cannot undo that. Similarly, when you have hired somebody in the job management level, then you cannot go back and change that. But as soon as, I mean, as long as you have not made any changes, you have not created any position, or you have not hired anybody, you can change the staffing model. Okay. Any question? Any question on staffing model? Okay, great. So I think that's pretty much it for today. We will be starting with compensation